Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5 a.m. pop-up book project. It is 5 in the morning and I am Keith Allen, and we're going to do a very basic tutorial today. I've been asked to cover the basics, so we're going to go to the very beginning. And we're going to cover a box fold today, also known as a parallel fold or a tent fold. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's get started. Okay, to get started we're going to need a few things. First, this template is available on my website, messypopup.com. Here it is. We just trimmed off the edges. You can download that for free in the freebies section. And you're going to need a ruler. You'll need either scissors or a knife. I like to use a bone folder for the folds. And you might need a little bit of glue or some tape. Okay, well, let's get going. So this is going to be our pop-up page, and as you can see there's some dotted lines, and those represent our fold lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the bone folder and my ruler and make a fold. So I just put a little bit of pressure, just like that, and I have two smaller ones right here. And so straight lines are going to represent a cut. So now I have folds, and then that looks like there's a cut there. So I'm going to do that here. Now the cut lines and the fold lines should all be in black. There are two lines down here, but they're red, and those are my placement guides, so I'm going to hold off on folding those for now. As you can see, I like to put a grid on my paper as I'm working. It's very helpful and useful when you're building a pop-up for the first time. It's good for measurement and placement, so you don't have to measure every time. These are, I think, 1/4 of an inch, and I also have a 45-degree angle on there, which is nice for angle folds. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold our back, or our pop-up page. I'm just going to fold it right like that. Okay, now it looks like we have a page here. Now what I'm going to do with this, with our box fold or our parallel fold, I'm going to just kind of guide it as I fold it again. So I'm just going to guide it this way and just slowly fold. We're going to let the paper do the work. We're going to let the paper decide how that lays down. And then we just kind of crease it. And there we go. And we have a pop-up. And that's a box fold. That's also known as parallel fold, because if you can see, makes a perfect square. These the length here from the gutter are exactly the same. As you can see, I colored this side right here a different color just to illustrate to you that this width is the same right here. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring this width here on my paper, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm recognizing where this fold is going to land when it's closed. See, it lands right there. Now if I had pulled this fold out further, it's possible that this would come further out and exceed the paper size. So then you'd close it and you'd have something sticking out, which that's the worst thing you want in a pop-up, is to have things coming out of your page when it's closed. So there you go. Now that's very useful. We can do a lot of things with this fold. The only trouble, when we open it at a complete 180 degrees, you can see that it goes completely flat. Nobody really holds pop-ups at that degree. Usually they're holding it more like this. However, if we wanted to get more depth, we can create what's called a tent fold, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so if you can, print out another template, and we're going to use this exact measurement. So you can either do that or measure this yourself. I'm just going to pull another template here. Alright, now let's make our folds again. A little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure there, a little bit of pressure here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Now before I cut the sides, where I did these folds here, I'm going to give it some wings or some tabs. And I'm just gonna, let's say, what's that, 3/4 of an inch, maybe. So then go. I'm just gonna add it there, and these can be real loose. As you can see, not perfectly straight. I'm just kind of estimating the size, but it should look something like that. We just want enough room to be able to glue these down. Okay, so I'm going to fold this in this way. I'm going to fold it here, and I'm going to fold these wings or tabs back, just like that. Okay, so it should look like this, and we're going to lay it down like that. So I'm going to bring this template back here, and as you can see, it's the exact, because we cut it out from that template or measured it, it is the exact same dimensions and measurements as this here. So if I just laid this down flat, we're going to essentially have two of the same pop-up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this in ever so slightly. It looks like 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to move it in and glue it down. Now, I have placement guides on both sides, but I do not want to place them both right there, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to start with one side. Let's start with the left side. And this is where you're going to need some tape or some glue. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape right here. Okay. And now I'm going to place this right here. That line lines up with that placement guide, and I'm just going to put it down. Give it some pressure. Okay, so now that's down. This is how I'm going to place it on the other side. I'm going to let the paper do the job. The reason you want to do that, paper, if you're off on your measurements just slightly, or the paper's thicker or thinner, there's a lot of variables. So we're going to let the paper decide where this should land, and that way we're not going to get any pull or tear or any extra strain on this crease here. So what we're going to do is just lay it down how it should lay in the page once it's folded. Now I'm just going to close. Let that stay popped up. I'm just going to close here. After I put some tape down there, and there we go. And as you can see, I am a little off on that placement. So if I would have placed it there, we would have had a little bit of trouble. But there you go. Now you have a pop-up. This is a tent. Okay. As you can see from our parallel fold, all sides were equal, and we get a nice perfect square every time. This one's not so much. This one we're going to have 2 equal sides here and 2 equal sides here, but those two are not going to be the same. And that way, you get some nice lift there, a lot of dimension, and that will stay that way when we're closed at or open at 180 degrees. So now with these folds, you can do a lot of things. You can build buildings, you can add stairs. There's really a ton of possibilities. I like to, you can add little, you can add some characters to them. I'm just put my little guys on here. Let's just say it like that, and then there you go. On your pop-up, you have them like they're jumping out of the page. So there you go. Now you can get started, and stay tuned for angle folds and some more basic tutorials coming up soon. Thanks a lot.